What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Texas Gun Trader here with Shadow Silencers. And so this is kind of the Sunday after the 338 face-off. We got the compiled data of all the guns and whatnot. So it's kind of a breakdown. I'm going to tell you what went good, what went bad. Well, what went bad was the weather. The weather was not great. It did not cooperate. It was spitting, misting rain for the better part of the day. Temperature was around 45 degrees Fahrenheit for all you Americans out there. So here's a kind of a rundown on who won, who lost, and kind of where all the guns fell. The smallest shot group, 3-shot group, went to the Steyr SSG M1. I think the best group that it shot between all 6 of us shooters was just under an inch using Hornady match 285 grain ELD. We chronographed everything using a Garmin chronograph, and let's see, what did it? Its average feet per second was 2803. That was for the Steyr. Overall, though, the Barrett one, it just won out. It's cheaper. It was about the same weight. I didn't shoot my best group with it. I shot my best group with the Steyr, but the gun was very pleasant to shoot. If you haven't shot one, they're good. The Steyr was also great gun. Fit and finish on both was really good. Weight out of the box, that was won by the Christenson MPR. This gun, it just came back from me from Christenson. They rebarreled it. It had a bit of an issue, but it actually did pretty good for a hunting rifle. I think the best shot group with it was just over an inch. I kept all the targets. I'll kind of post pictures of those later. Fit and finish, overall craftsmanship, Barrett MRAD. Price, how much gun you get for your money. It was a tie between the Barrett MRAD and the Christenson MPR. This gun retails like $24.99. And I think the Barrett was what, 63 or $6,400, something like that. How customizable is the rifle to shoot and make the fit the shooter? That was also a tie between the Barrett MRAD and the Steyr SSG. Those things had a lot of adjustment in them, and they were easy to adjust. It was not hard to adjust your cheek well, your length of pull, all that good stuff. How customizable is the gun? Is there aftermarket support? Barrett has a lot of support for that gun. You can actually buy a barrel kit and have custom barrels made for that gun. I do not know about the Steyr. I think you can only get their barrels. Don't quote me on that. And cool factor. How will your other gun buddies think, about your choice in guns? Well, Barrett MRAD won out overall. So overall, the Barrett MRAD won with a total of 184 points. Next in line was the Steyr SSG M1 with 176. So not far behind it. They were really close. Those guns were good. I mean, one could argue that, accuracy is the most important part, and I would not disagree with you, but
shootability is a factor.
Shootability is a factor. It very much is. So I want to give a shout out to Hornady for hooking us up with some of the ammo. I purchased some of the ammo, but they also sent me a bunch of ammo. So that was, we couldn't have done it without them. Big shout out to Black Tie Guns. They helped out. I got one of their hats on right now. And of course, Shadow Silencers. Matter of fact, I shot my best group with the Steyr SSG M1 and the Shadow Silencers suppressor. Steyr brought their own can. It was I think it was a prototype can. It was quite heavy, and you could actually watch it whip the barrel. You didn't need a high-speed camera to see it. That being said, the gun still shot really well with it, and that can worked really well. Barrett also brought their own can, their titanium 338 can. That can worked great on that gun. I don't think it was quite as quiet as the Steyr can that they brought, but it was substantially lighter, and weight is a big factor. From here, we're gonna, move on, and we're gonna do the longest shot, or the long shots with it, and we're gonna go from there. You got anything to say, Brian?
Other than the weather was very uncooperative. But
I do want to point out the Savage did not do very well, and I found out afterwards when I went to pick the gun up and throw it back in the truck, it is loose in the stock. Also, the base is loose. Don't know how that happened. This gun was an unfired gun that I got, so it was basically brand new. Now, Savage doesn't offer this one no more. They offer this gun, but in a different stock and chassis. So, just FYI, if you get one of these guns, and since ammo is really expensive, be sure and check all the screws, because you don't want to be wasting ammo chasing a gun that won't shoot, because everything is loose. Literally everything. This gun kind of beat itself up. I want to thank Christenson for getting this gun back to me, because they worked hard to get this gun back to me. It shoots a lot better than it did. I think there's still some accuracy to be had. I think I could make it a little bit better. I think maybe weather and loads were a bit of a factor, but
well, also that's a new barrel, so you haven't seasoned it.
Yeah, it wasn't seasoned, wasn't shot in, yada yada yada. So we're gonna kind of revisit this and see how well it does once it gets a few more rounds to it, and we're gonna do the same thing with the Savage, because the Savage, I think, while recoil is not real great, that gun transfers a lot of recoil back to the shooter. I think the accuracy could be better, with everything tightened up and Loctited and torqued to spec. So, with that being said, that's kind of where we stand, and we're gonna go on from here. We'll see you next time. Good. Okay. So, I kind of forgot to give a thank you to Barrett and Steyr. Mark, brought out the MRAD. He also got Zero Tech optics. They provided the optics. We used that optic on every one of the guns except for the Noreen. The Noreen didn't do too well. It broke. We'll just leave it at that. And it had a few issues. Had some feeding issues, and it's a Gym 1. Bad news. That gun honestly was like one of my holy grail guns when it first came out, because I've always been a lover of 338 Lapua, and when I first saw that gun I was like, oh, a semi-automatic 338, who wouldn't want that? With that being said, the gun kind of leaves a little bit to be desired. I'm going to do some work on it, but we'll revisit that in a later video if I can get it going good. If I can't, then, well, it is what it is. It'll just be a expensive paperweight. Because it seems like every time I take it out, it breaks. So, once again, Barrett, super huge thank you. Steyr, big, huge thank you. And everybody else, Zero Tech Optics. So many people worked really, really hard to make this happen. Like Shadow Silencers, like Black Tie Guns, Hornady. Once again, big, huge thank you to you guys. Y'all provided a big chunk of the ammo, and we used a bunch of it, and it did real well.
Gunrunner Shooting Sports.
Gunrunner Shooting Sports, yeah. We couldn't have done it without them. They let us use the range. So if you're ever in the Bowie area, and you're looking for a home range, you live in that area, go check out Gunrunner Shooting Sports. Great place to go shoot. Real friendly environment. He hosts matches throughout the year. They do monthly matches for
the historical 3-gun.
The historical 3-gun guys, so that's also cool. So if you're into the historical 3-gun stuff, great place to go to. There's a match every month there. I want to thank my kids, my family, all y'all kind of helped out with this, even though somebody kept running to the car because she was cold.
Don't necessarily blame her for that.
It was kind of cold, I'm not going to lie. Like I said, it averaged around 45 degrees until we stopped shooting. It wasn't until we stopped shooting that it actually warmed up and the sun came out. So that kind of, it is what it is kind of thing. Also, Alex, thank you for cooking. He cooked all the hamburgers and whatnot.
CJ and Gerard for bringing the food.
CJ and Gerard for bringing the food. Once again, Black Tie Guns and Shadow Silencers. Yehunda, the Pew Pew Jew, he came out and had fun with us. So check him out, and yeah. What else you think, man? Anybody we're leaving out?
No, I don't. Can't think of anybody.
Well, either way, so stick around. We're gonna try and break some records with 338 Lapua, set some records with 338 Lapua, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.